Hello, welcome back to Wine Reform. So today we're going to do something a little different. As some of you might know, my background is in graphic design, and so I think I'm going to play to that strength for this video. It has come to my attention that I have a wellspring of various notes and writings and videos with all of my wine tasting evaluations, and I have to say they're a bit scattered. Tasting notes. Tasting notes. Tasting notes. The physical manifestation of my mind in various places is driving me a little nuts, so I'm gonna fix it. And I'm gonna compile all of my notes by designing a wine tasting booklet. Except it's not gonna be boring for you guys, because while I'm designing, I'm gonna talk to you guys about the importance of training your sense of taste and smell, and how you can hone these really undervalued aspects of yourself. So, I don't know if this is gonna take a day, 2 days, 3 days. We're just gonna have to see. And yeah, let's get started. I spent a lot of time training my eyes, my ears if I was performing, but that was about it. I didn't really train my sense of smell or my sense of taste until I found wine. However, I think COVID is making us revisit how we think about our sense of smell and our sense of taste. So that's what I'm doing. So getting back to the wine booklet, I'm going to divide it into 3 major categories. What was the wine? What was it like? And what did I think of it? Because, you know, notes mean nothing unless you remember what you were feeling or what you were thinking when you had that wine. After all, taste and smell are so vitally linked to memory. So for the first section, I think I'm going to include what I was tasting, all that information, appellation, producer, vintage, alcohol content, there's a whole bunch of them. And then I'm also going to go ahead and include the time of day and the date in which I was tasting, because believe it or not, how you perceive flavor varies throughout the day. So here we go. Our major categories. And for now, we are going to make everything accidents grotesque. So now I'm getting to the important part. Smelling and tasting. Smell and taste are really connected. So when one struggles, generally so does the other. One of the symptoms many people have who have had COVID, and this is a really great way to distinguish who's an asymptomatic carrier of COVID, they suffer from a complete loss of taste and smell. And that actually has a name. It's called anosmia. And for some, it is taking months for them to get their sense of taste and smell back. So there's a rise in smell training. I know it sounds really odd, but our sense of smell is like a muscle in the sense that if we use it, we don't lose it. Don't lose it, you use it. That make sense? All right, evaluation section. We broke down the categories. So a good sense of smell can actually alert us to a lot of things happening in our environment. We are alerted to dangers like fires, gas leaks, and rotten food, and we are even alerted to potential mates or even how others are feeling through pheromones. Believe it or not, humans can smell fear. Smelling the dangers is the most important part, and if we smell dangers, we can avoid them. So smell or loss of it is a really good indicator of health problems an individual might be having. Not only is anosmia an indicator of COVID, it's sometimes also an indicator of diseases like Alzheimer's or dementia, and that's just a few. If I was going to go down the list of all the diseases and all the ailments in which anosmia could clue you into, we don't have time for that. Oh, should I number these? So I mentioned smell therapy. That really involves getting a whiff of the various smells of the odor prism. Burnt, spicy, resinous, foul, fruity, and flowery. You really need to focus on those when you're inhaling them, kind of like a form of meditation. Believe it or not, engaging in smell therapy not only improves your ability to identify aromas, but it can help your brain for years to come. Basically, your olfactory system is a neural pathway that renews every few weeks. This is because it's a plastic system. And what that means is it's a flexible system in the brain that adapts to the environment. I'll break it down a little more. So your nose is full of cells called epithelial cells, and those they line the inside of your nose. There are millions of these just in your nasal passageways. And basically what these do is they detect these chemical aroma compounds in the air and register them and send the signal to your brain. And these are the cells that renew every few weeks, and so your sensors stay fresh. As we age, like with everything else in our body, our epithelial cells, the ones laying in our nose, they will weaken every time. But by exercising them, we are encouraging heightened responsiveness and thus keeping our whole olfactory system young. This is especially useful since a strong olfactory system, the plastic system, has been linked to the mind's ability to perceive. So training your nose might be a fun alternative to sharpening your mind if you're getting a little tired of Sudoku. So I personally have noticed that the more I smell wine, the faster I can identify various aroma compounds. And this has got to be linked to smell training, right? Well, it is. By evaluating a wine and putting a word to every single sensation, you're increasing your perception and your ability to differentiate different odors. And by putting a language to what you perceive, you are turning the process of smelling into a cognitive one. This, in turn, heightens your neuroplasticity, keeping your mind in good shape. So, enjoying wine consciously has really helped my brain. That's pretty cool. So the concept of the olfactory system and smell training through wine tasting is honestly, it's a really huge concept, and there's so many more fascinating studies to, well, take a look at. But that was already a lot. So the biggest takeaway is that you can turn your wine tasting into an opportunity to improve your mind. So don't just drink your wine. Take some time to smell it and taste it. Doesn't matter what it is. Savor it. Well, now that I have created the wine tasting booklet, I am going to go ahead and start typing in all my notes. That's going to take a while. Well, nonetheless, it will be easier for me to keep track of what I've tasted because it'll all be in one place. And, well, maybe I can draw similarities between the wines and recall memories and, well, I'll enjoy it more than Sudoku. I know we normally taste wine on this channel, but I thought it might be valuable to maybe put some thought as to why we do it. After all, it's good to live in the moment, live presently, and I think that knowing why we do things is a really good way to, well, do that. For more information on the fascinating subject of smell and taste, especially smell, I have linked all my resources in the description below. There's so many great studies to peruse, and if you're looking to maybe be distracted for a few hours and or just, you know, waste some time and improve your mind while doing so, then be sure to check it out. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to give me a thumbs up. It lets YouTube know that more people should see this video. So if someone's wondering the same things as you, or they just like wine like you do, you're doing them a favor. So, you know, pat yourself on the back. You're doing great. If you are new to my videos, or you've been watching them and you haven't done so yet, then be sure to subscribe. I release wine-related content every single Friday, and if you want to be alerted as to when they're released, because we're all in different time zones, then hit the bell icon next to the subscribe button. You will get a notification as soon as my videos go live. With all that being said, it has been a pleasure. Thank you for being here with me for this very different episode of Wine Reform, where we, well, think about why we smell and taste the wine the way we do and try to record or create a place to record it so that, you know, we can do more of it. So, with all that being said, go smell some wine. Think about it. Put some words to it. Just enjoy it. And I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.